even though the company flourished, opening stores all along the East Coast. Her father wanted no part of the profits and took only his salary as Uncle Anthony grew rich selling early colonial antiques that came on a boat from China. Angela knew her father would have quit years ago if her mother hadn't been ill. A slow-moving cancer had eaten away at her body. At first they fought with operations and treatments between short periods of remission until she was finally too weak to fight any more. Angela stayed with her, missing proms and dating and sleepovers through her teen years. For a few hours each day, the tiny office became her father's refuge from the constant reality of his wife's illness. Once out of college, Angela got a job at a local museum and moved in with her parents to help. By then, her mother needed constant care, and Angela and her father managed the night shift. When her mother passed peacefully in her sleep at home, Angela felt as if she lost her father, too. Within weeks, he was working 6, sometimes 7 days a week in his office, usually late into the night. At first, she thought he was simply catching up, but finally she understood he was hiding away, living a little less each day. "Something's not right," he'd sometimes mutter when he came home late. He mentioned more than once his concern over the company's accounting. She asked if he'd talked to Anthony about it, and her father had simply smiled and told her not to worry, that his brother didn't want to hear about problems. Angela picked up the fishing picture as his worry over the account seemed to echo in her memory. She wished she could have helped him. "I love you, Dad," she whispered to his picture. Absently, she flipped over the frame to see if the note she had put in the back saying how she loved him to the moon and back was still there. She opened the frame, and a small piece of paper fell out. She recognized her writing and the hearts drawn all around the edges. Smiling, she pulled it out and noticed in deep pen marks someone had scribbled something on the back of her note. The note was addressed "To my angel" and dated 3 days ago, the day he died. "You have to get away from here," the note read. 3 words were printed in all capitals: "Run, disappear, vanish. Your life depends on it. Trust no." He hadn't finished. Something must have stopped him. Maybe a noise in the alley that interrupted his thoughts. She imagined him hastily returning the unfinished note to the frame, then going to investigate. For a while she looked from the picture to the note to the ledger. Florida was her home. Why would he tell her to run? He must have known he was in danger. The police said the phone line to his office had been cut, but the muggers couldn't have known he'd left his cell at home that night, as usual. And even if he knew he was in danger, why would he tell her to run or disappear? A chill slid along her spine. Her father had hidden the note. He'd been afraid someone would find it, someone besides her. Bits of conversation they'd had over the past few weeks circled in her mind. He'd suggested she apply for a curator job in Texas he'd seen online, even posted the job opening on the noteboard in the kitchen to remind her. He'd told her it would be good to get away. He brought home a little trailer he'd picked up at a yard sale and tucked it away in a garage full of other useless junk. He had transferred all his stocks to her name, claiming he no longer had time to keep up with them. Maybe he never guessed he would be mugged, but suspected his heart might give out. Or had he feared violence might be coming his direction? Now, looking back, she wondered if he had wanted her to leave Florida so he could do the same. But why? He had a job for life. Even if Uncle Anthony was shady in his dealings, Benjamin would never have turned in his own brother. She thought all his changes were part of the grieving for her mother, but now she reconsidered. Her forever organized father must